Hi everypony, today I will be reviewing the Season 2 opening two-parter, The Return of Harmony. The episode opens showing us the CMC in the Canterlot Sculpture Garden with Miss Cheerilee. The three seem to be having a bad day and can't get along with each other. After describing the strange sculpture, Cheerilee rewards the three silly fillies with a brand new homework assignment. The assignment is on Discord, embodiment of chaos and disharmony amongst ponies. Right before the intro plays, we get an ominous laugh from the piece of statuary. The episode reopens in Ponyville, or more specifically, Sweet Apple Acres. Here we get an intro scene where the main six have to fight the strange cotton candy weather and find a way to control the transformed animals. This scene is great, giving a flash of each pony's character and showing their continuing friendship from the end of first season. We even have Twilight trying to use a brand new spell and Pinkie having the wrong priorities. My favorite touch here is the fact that Fluttershy gets to be useful for once. They then quickly run to the princess's summons. Quick question before continuing, how did Rainbow Dash know what was going on in the rest of Equestria if she has been trying to deal with the cotton candy cloud since the beginning of the scene? Oh well, there are worse breaks in logic in the series. At the castle we get a lot of exposition, first by Celestia's powerless to stop Discord. The small speech here actually did a lot to help me understand Celestia's need for Twilight and the rest of the main six. I also like the fact that wielding the most powerful magic in existence against your sister means you don't get to use it. Although it does seem strange how readily Twilight wants to assault something she's never met with the elements of harmony. I chalk that up to the faithful student trait and how strong it is at the beginning of the season. The second bit of exposition is the disappearance of the elements and Discord's arrival. Discord continues to resume the farm scene's job of helping explain and re-establish the main six's character traits beyond their most basic traits. Discord and Celestia are beautiful in their interaction, by the way. Celestia shows more emotion than ever seen previously, and Discord arrives showing his disdain for Celestia by assuming a moral high ground. Discord also says that he forgot how grim she could be, which only makes me wonder what type of things we haven't seen in Equestria yet. Discord and Pinkie also have some amazing dialogue in the fact that it's so believable they would get along together. Of course, it's hard to go wrong with dancing on Twilight's head. Finally, we get that entertaining rhyme, and you know what? I don't blame Twilight at all for making a rushed decision. I approach a riddle and I jump on one conclusion even if it doesn't fit the rest. I then get really confused when I'm wrong and don't know what to do. Which is the theme for the entire maze scene coming up when I think about it. Getting down to the maze thinking that's where the elements can be found, Discord makes his appearance. Discord arrives and explains the rules of his game, that no pony may use magic or wings and every pony has to play. Of course, the real games are the mind games he plays with the main six. Look, it's that list thingy again. Okay, first, let's do all of them in order, and then I'll tell you what the order from best to least is. You do not get to wait an event review knowing what the last one is. First there is Applejack's. She follows some self-moving apples into what the apple piles call the Grove of Truth. They tell Applejack that she may ask them one question. She asks what will happen at the end and can't accept Discord's lie that their friendship would be broken. He then turns her into a terrible liar and sends her on her way. Good people break down, and when they do, they tend to be rather bad at darker roles. Besides, how much do you think there are times when she wants to lie, but really can't? Party of One showed us her near inability. Discord does this with each of them, bringing forth and strengthening a bad trait or desire of theirs and making it overpower everything else. I don't think this is simply a super powerful spell that lets Discord control ponies however he wants to. Second, we have Pinkie Pie. Pinkie finds herself in a balloon garden filled with laughter, general until it rises to new heights as the balloons push poor Pinkie into the mud. Not being used to being laughed at, she begins to doubt herself, and her insecurities take over as Discord whispers in her ear. Finally, she decides to turn her back on laughter and proceeds to yell at any pony who laughs around her. I know how Pinkie feels though, because there have been times when it feels like I was just around for others' entertainment. Poor Pinkie. I wonder how often you want a more serious role in life. Third is Rarity. She's presented with the most beautiful gems in Equestria, and although she tries, Rarity cannot deny herself these gems. Her fade to Tom shows her subconscious reaction to most things in life. Something to remember about Rarity is the fact that she seems to fight to be generous. Fourth is Fluttershy. Fluttershy follows some butterflies desperately needing their comforting presence. Discord, as the butterflies, tries to convince her why she should hate her friends. She responds by twisting his logic to explain why her friends are great. Finally, he just flips out and forces a mean side of her out. Now where did that come from? Perhaps this is her manipulative nature turning the world around her to her amusement, like any good bully. Fluttershy does have a tendency to make people and things do what she wants, and her personality takes a forceful turn at times. The latter of these is shown a lot more in Season 1, and the former more in the second and third seasons. This all justifies it a lot more, but on its own, it just seems like they didn't want her doubting herself. Finally, Rainbow Dash, my favorite during the first two-parter with Nightmare Moon. Here, she charges after Discord, and only by holding her back does he get a chance to explain that without her, Cloudsdale will crumble. He offers her wings, and with a little pull from Discord, she runs off to save Cloudsdale. Spoiler time, I hate this event! Rainbow picking the town she doesn't even live in over her friends, when her element is loyalty? From favorite to least favorite, it goes number 1, Pinkie Pie, number 2, Applejack, 3, Rarity, 4, Fluttershy, and, of course, 5, Rainbow Dash. As she flies away, the maze disappears, and Discord ends the episode triumphant. Of course, this is a two-part episode. The first half of the second part gives us time to enjoy the Discorded 5. The entire time goes by with the 5 acting as the liar, the missing, the brute, the buzzkill, and the miser. There isn't much to say about how they act, but I believe that their alternate personalities are beautifully done. These are 5 chaotic people who would be hard-checked by reality, but in a world of chaos will find both acceptance and opportunity, although they probably wouldn't care or like it. One big thing is that Fluttershy tells Angel he did a good job. I believe that this is also a nod to who inspired her to manipulate and who may have taught her how to be mean. After all, Angel's biggest trait is how mean a bunny he can be. Overall, though, the writers did a good job of keeping it from being dark by keeping most of their interactions very light and playful. Oh, and don't play Keep Away next time you're at a friend's house. That stuff ends friendships. That's a guarantee. Finally, we try using the elements without their bearers, and as to be expected, it fails miserably. Now, Twilight finally breaks, and this is just so sad for me. It's because I know what it feels like to have your friends turn on you and act like something completely different. You can try all you want, but it's hard to deal with such a change, and your friends because of who they are. Coming home, we get to see Spike barfing up letters. These are return to sender letters from the princess, and as Twilight reads them, she realizes that she needs to remind her friends about what their friendship means. I believe that this is a spell that allows her to bring forward very specific memories. You could say it's like Discord forcing forward a darker personality or wish earlier. She reminds them of who they are and what they mean to one another. Then, of course, they need to track down Rainbow Dash. Chase Scene Layer for no explainable reason? Seriously, why does she seem to reject her friends? I guess she probably wants to be closer to her own kind, since her only Pegasus friend is very un-Pegasus-like. I said it before, I'll say again, they don't explain Rainbow Dash in this episode enough. Finally, every pony is back to normal, and they go to face off with Discord. Now this is weird. Why did Discord develop a case of early victory syndrome and chose to start acting like a moron? He's supposed to be really smart. This is because he doesn't take them seriously. His master plan had been fulfilled, and now he just wanted to enjoy the general chaos and randomness he caused throughout Ponyville. Without a plan to keep him on track, he simply stopped caring, and thinking himself invincible, didn't stop to think they might be able to do something. It is sad they did this with such a cool, interesting, and thought-provoking villain. But oh well. Discord has returned to Stone, and is it wrong I don't get this Star Wars reference? Time for the moral. No, bad Twilight, don't foreshadow the moral. Through dual pep talks, one from Twilight and one from Rainbow Dash, the moral isn't learned during these episodes, their faith in it is simply restored. That moral is, of course, that no matter what, you need to stay by your friends and help each other. The most important time to do this when some pony else is having problems and don't seem like themselves. Like I said before, this moral rings deeply with me, and so does the overall message of the arc. Time for fanboying. I need to stop saying everything in the rest of the video. I would like to say that I like the fact that this song isn't music-filled. There was so much information, everything they did without a single song, which tends to be how this show compresses information in later big events. Instead, we get amazing dialogue and an interesting turn on the characters we know so well. This is Line Space saying, "Have a chaotic day."